8:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. Cat Neville with Feast Magazine is here, and of course, it's all sponsored by our friends at Jimmy's on the Park, 706 DeMont Avenue in Clayton. Call them at 725-8585, and their website, as always, jimmyscafe.com. Look for my character. It's in the back. And, of course, I'm not that fat. The pencil adds about 10 pounds to the face.
I'm not that fat.
I'm not that fat. Carney's character is spot on. He is that fat. I'm not that fat.
Oh, come on.
Good morning, Cat Neville from Feast Magazine.
Good morning.
You saw Kelly Jackson, Feast TV?
Yeah, so I was on Monday, and I was watching PBS. Feast TV was on, which I love your show. It's beautifully shot. You went on an elk farm, and then you were in the kitchen making this tart.
Yes.
Which looked delicious. But this is the one thing.
A tart making a tart.
The one fabulous thing that I learned was if you don't have powdered sugar at home, no worries. You can turn your sugar into powdered sugar.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting.
It's a trick.
How'd you do that?
Spice grinder, coffee grinder.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, and it took you like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And
you just put it in there, hit the button, and whir it around, and it just comes out powdered sugar.
See that?
Ta-da.
I thought that was fascinating.
That's
You don't
fab.
even need to buy powdered sugar.
It's fab. Yeah.
It was really cool.
Thank you.
And it
All
looked
right.
delicious, too.
Oh, my goodness. That thing was devoured in a day. I mean, it was so good and unusual, which makes it fun. But it is, when you look at the way it's put together, you're like almond flour and eggs and honey topped with pine nuts. And it was good. Good.
Really pretty.
All right. What
really
do you got?
nice show.
What do you got for us today?
Okay, so I have two things. The first one is we've talked about kitchen culture before. They operate out of Tower Grove Park, and they started out making T-shirts for people in the culinary industry, and they decided they should probably have some food at the Tower Grove Farmers Market too.
Sure.
And so things have progressed for them. They now do catering, and they do a number of pop-ups, and they've done a lot at Sump. They are now doing pop-up dinners at Local Harvest Cafe on Morgan Ford on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and they are done with an Asian kind of focus. And the food is awesome. I had every single thing on the menu last night. Yes, I did. And they have this wonderful hot and sour soup that is not a traditional, what you think of with like a clear broth hot and sour soup. It's really rich, has a lot of mushrooms inside of it, some fried mofu tofu, and then they have this essentially coddled egg that they put on top, and when you cut into it, the yolk just kind of runs into the soup. Delicious. They have a citrus salad that is very wintry with lots of winter greens and some grapefruit. Everything in it is organic, but then they have like mint in there, and then a black sesame praline, if you're from the South, that gives this crunchy, sweet, unexpected bite in it, and it has a miso vinaigrette. Lovely. There is, if you've ever eaten at a Vietnamese restaurant, they have these crepes that are not a French style crepe. It's an egg that's been kind of crisped on the outside and is filled with like mushrooms, and you cut up the pieces and you wrap it with fresh herbs and lettuce and dip it in the fish sauce, kind of dipping sauce. Yum. And then they have these bacon dumplings that are kind of like pot stickers, yummy, with some shaved Brussels sprouts and an apple kimchi, and then there's this ginger beef dish on top of rice noodles with a bunch of fresh greens. So that's everything on the menu, and that's
Kat had it all.
I ate all of it. It was delicious. I couldn't
I'm sure you
help myself.
sampled all of it. There's no way.
I had one
as
other
tiny as you
person,
are.
and we shared everything.
Really?
So they do change their menu up. This menu is available tonight, so because it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But
So it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Local Harvest.
At Local Harvest.
In the Tower Grove Park area.
Correct,
Okay.
on Morgan Ford.
Okay.
And so next week the menu might be a little bit different, but
Right.
just rest assured that it's going to be fantastic.
What is mofo tofu?
I know.
It's
Mofo
mofu.
tofu.
Mofu tofu. I think we might have talked about this a couple years ago. It is a locally produced, organic, non-GMO tofu. And it's fantastic. You can get it. So it's a fresh tofu. You can get it at a number of different outlets. But if you just Google, mofu, I don't remember what his URL is specifically.
Right.
But it's really good stuff. It's fresh, handmade tofu made right here in St. Louis.
All right. What's number two?
I know you love tofu.
I'm going to try this mofo tofu.
Mofu tofu,
Mofu.
like Mo as in Missouri and foo
Or
as
like
in
Mo
tofu.
from the Three Stooges.
Okay. Oh, now that I get.
Okay.
Larry, Mo, and Curly. The other one are some great picks for Valentine's Day. Of course.
Good. All right.
I have a couple of our wonderful cultural institutions have great restaurants. One, Panorama at the Art Museum in that new, gorgeous, modern edition. They are doing aphrodisiac dinners, $65 a person. If you do wine, it's $35. Additional, and like Ivy Magruder is the chef there. They have lots of really fun, kind of, sexy dishes available. And then they also will be open for Saturday and Sunday brunch. And obviously, if you're looking for something to do with your sweetheart, I've always been a fan of the St. Louis Art Museum. It is wonderful. And so why not go for a brunch and then stroll around the Art Museum? It's a great thing to do with your sweetie. And then Bixby's, which operates in the History Museum, they are doing sweetheart lunches, and it's got a great view of Forest Park.
Yes, it
It's
does.
That's where
absolutely
you go
beautiful.
with your mistress.
What?
You do lunch with your.
You take your sweetie to the Art
Okay,
Museum, or you take your mistress to the History
lunch,
Museum.
and then say, "All right, babe, I'm out of here.
I like the way you think, Kelly Jackson.
I got to go to the Art Museum now." Kelly Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
There really isn't a mistress place in town, is there? I mean, there are, but
Bar
I mean,
Frere, maybe.
okay.
Because it's like very
Oh, that's
intimate
true,
and
and
dark,
dark.
and really sexy.
That's true.
I thought Truffles was a big cougar hangout, though, wasn't it? Truffles over there on Ledoux,
I
right?
am
Over in
not.
Clayton Road. Yeah.
Andrew is weighing in from across the room. Okay.
That's what I heard
The
anyway.
conversation is
Yeah.
going downhill. Anyway, there are some great spots. If you go to feastmagazine.com, Sarah Fensky and Heather Risky, our two fantastic digital editors, have put together a list. Cedar Lake Cellars, which is this terrific winery kind of out near O'Fallon, Missouri. They're doing something really special, and they sit on a lake. It's really beautiful. They're doing some live music. So there's lots of places that are not just going to, out to lunch or out to dinner or something like that, but where you can kind of combine other stuff.
There you go. Yeah. All right, quickly, Feast.com. What's going on with that?
Feastcom. I do have some news I'm going to share next week, but right now I want to let you guys know about some of the events. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff that we're doing. We are working on putting together Food Fight with KMOX. Sorry. Again, this
What?
I know, sorry.
Who
Again
cares?
this year. It's actually
Who cares? What? Somebody made a mistake.
I didn't mean to.
Why would you do that? What is this event now?
It's called Food Fight.
Yes.
And so we're setting up this really great event where we are pitting all these chefs against each other. And
Sounds
so,
like a show they do over there where they just yell at everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Can you ask Charlie Brennan why I'm not on Channel 9's Donnybrook?
Oh my goodness.
It's only been
See?
17 years.
You opened up.
I did. And we're anyway, next week we also on the 25th of February we're also doing our fabulous Schnucks Cooks cooking school class, and you can learn how to make caramels. Everything is caramelization. You can learn how to caramelize meat. We're caramelizing sugar. And then we also have a feast at 400 Olive on the 26th of February, and we're pairing a bunch of cocktails made with Jim Beam with this multi-course dinner. There's tons of stuff going on, so we just have a lot kind of.
Also, this tweet just in, Mark Reardon tweeting that you're going to be on his show exclusively for the first time ever.
Oh, great! I didn't know that.
All right, well, you tell Charlie Brennan hi for me.
I will.
You betcha. All right. So they're going to pit everybody together and scream and yell at everybody. That sounds like a show they do. You owe me.
I know I
owe
do.
me.
I know I do.
Boy, do you owe me. 8:48 here, Big 550 KTR.